What he did to me is not something that any person deserves, not even the worst villains in movies. And this all started when we were children. He was my best friend since childhood. We grew up together in the same city. We were inseparable, sharing our deepest secrets, dreams, and fears under the covers as we whispered tales of monsters and spaceships. I knew him better than anyone else. His mannerisms, his likes, dislikes, fears, dreams, everything. Our parents were friends too, so much so that they used to joke that our friendship was the foundation of their own. They would laugh and reminisce about the day we were born in the same hospital, exactly 2 days apart, how we learned to walk and talk around the same time, and how they too became friends because of it. When we grew older, we were still inseparable. We were each other's go-to person through thick and thin, celebrating each other's triumphs and consoling each other during family fights, schoolyard squabbles, or heartbreaks. Years went by, seasons changed, yet our friendship remained constant. It wasn't until I turned 19 that I realized I was in love with him. I always knew there was something special between us, something deeper than what I saw in the fleeting friendships of my peers. But it was only when I began seeing other boys that I understood how wrong I'd been. All those butterflies in my stomach, all those shy touches, all those inside jokes, it wasn't just our unique bond. It was my heart trying to tell me what my mind refused to acknowledge. Yet I pushed those feelings away. Why wouldn't I? We were best friends. And even if that changed, I wanted to preserve what we had, not mess it up. So I told myself it was just a crush, a phase, anything to keep our friendship intact. But he never asked me about those feelings, never tried to fill the awkward silence between us after I broke my engagement 3 months ago. He didn't ask me why I stopped wearing my engagement ring or why I kept crying myself to sleep at night. We finished high school together and then college. We moved in together, not because we were lovers, but because we were best friends. What better way to keep our friendship strong than to live under the same roof? Only he didn't consider that our dynamic would change with our living situation. He started getting angry over stupid things. At first, it was nothing big. If I left the dishes in the sink, he would yell at me. He got pissed off when I cooked meat because the smell lingered. He hated how I organized things, how I folded clothes, how I cleaned the house. Then came the comments. "You look fat in that dress. Who does that color suit you? That guy is too good looking for you. You really think that top looks good on you?" He said those things without thinking I wouldn't notice, without realizing that those words would eat away at me like termites. Then the gaslighting started. "You're being ridiculous. Don't be silly. You're overreacting. Stop being so sensitive. Stop making mountains out of molehills. You know I only want the best for you. You know I would never intentionally hurt you." And then the jealous rages, screaming and yelling at me if I talked to another guy, putting his arms around my shoulder or gently touching my hair. If I let him, he would tear me down. When I tried to point out his behavior, he would apologize and promise it would never happen again. But then it happened again and again and again. I felt trapped in a nightmare where the walls were closing in on me and I couldn't breathe. I packed my bags and left. I stayed with a friend and he apologized and begged me to come back. I agreed, but little did I know that was the biggest mistake of my life. He began acting nice, bringing home flowers and love letters and love songs. Every day he would do something sweet to make me feel guilty, to make me forgive him. Then he proposed and I said yes. At first, our married life was great. We lived in a beautiful home, had a wonderful bed, romantic dinners, and he spoiled me with gifts. But the honeymoon period lasted only a few weeks. He began criticizing me again, but this time it was worse. I was worthless. I was useless. I wasn't beautiful enough, smart enough, or interesting enough for him. One night he came home drunk and lashed out at me. I was furious and fought back. For the first time I stood up to him, told him he was an asshole and needed to get help. I told him he was toxic and I deserved better. That night he left and never came back. He took everything from me, my clothes, my furniture, my books, even my car, which was registered under his name. I was devastated. I called him and texted him every day, but he ignored me. I reached out to his family and friends, but none of them knew where he was. A month later, I found out he was living with his parents again and working at his father's company. I confronted him and he told me to move on, that I was crazy and needed to accept the fact that he no longer wanted to be with me. One day I received a package in the mail, a box full of my stuff, clothes, books, and jewelry. I cried as I unpacked the box. Why did he wait so long to send them? Did he forget I existed? Did he just want to hurt me more? When I called him, he told me he was doing me a favor by returning my belongings. That was the last straw. I blocked him on everything. For months, I didn't hear from him. I assumed he had moved on and that I had to do the same. Then one day, out of nowhere, he showed up at my door. He was crying and begging me to forgive him. He said he was sorry for everything he'd done and that he wanted us to start over. He promised to change. Well, I was hesitant, but he wore me down with his tears and apologies. I took him back. I thought our problems were solved, but I was wrong. Our relationship was toxic from the start. He was jealous and controlling, manipulative and disrespectful. He would criticize me for no reason and then apologize and promise to change. Rinse and repeat. It was like a broken record, a never-ending cycle of abuse. I kept hoping it would get better, but it just got worse. Then he started coming home late and I started finding excuses for his behavior. Where did you go? Who were you with? Are you sure you didn't drink? To which he would reply, you don't trust me. You think I'm cheating on you. I'm not. You're the one who cheated on me. When I went out with my friends, he would call them and yell at them, cursing and swearing at them, telling them how dare they hang out with me, that I was his property and he wouldn't tolerate them looking at me. He would tell me horrible things about my family and friends, twisting the truth until I doubted them too. One day he told me his family didn't like me because I was a gold digger. They told him I only married him for his money. Another day he told me his mother hated me because I made him choose between me and her. Yet another day he told me his friends said I was too pretty for him and that I would cheat on him. I tried talking to him about these issues, but he would dismiss them, saying I was making things up. I started feeling isolated, cut off from the people I loved, trapped in a world where I was constantly on edge, waiting for the next explosion, dreading his next outburst, always trying to please him, always trying to be good enough. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. He was my best friend, my confidant, my rock. He was supposed to be the one person who knew me best, but how could he have been so wrong about me? As the months passed, the distance between us grew wider and wider. There was no longer any warmth, no longer any passion. We went from being two souls intertwined to strangers under the same roof. Then he stopped having sex with me. He claimed it was because I was fat. He said he didn't find me attractive anymore. He said I needed to lose weight. I tried dieting and exercising, but it wasn't working. One day he came home and found me eating a slice of pizza. He threw it in the trash and told me I was disgusting. He dragged me to the bathroom and forced me to throw up. From then on, he monitored everything I ate. He took over my grocery shopping and cooked meals for me. I was losing weight, but I was also losing my sanity. Then he started forcing me to take pills, weight loss pills, sleeping pills, antidepressants. One day he told me he was going on a business trip and would be gone for a week. I was relieved. Maybe I could have some peace and quiet for once. The moment he closed the door behind him, I started crying. 3 days later, I woke up and found a message on his phone. It was from a woman. It said, I miss you. Can't wait to see you again. Love you. Signed, Isabella. I confronted him when he came back and he denied everything. He said it was just a client. A few weeks later, I found more messages from Isabella. She sent pictures of her and him together, in bed, kissing, touching each other. He confessed everything to me. He said he was in love with her, that he wanted a divorce. He took me to court and I didn't stand a chance. He painted me as the crazy, vindictive ex-wife and I believed him. In the end, I walked away with nothing. He got the house, the car, my savings, everything. I moved in with my sister and tried to put my life back together. It's been a year since our divorce and I still can't understand why he did what he did. I thought I knew him. I thought we had something special. I thought we had a connection that couldn't be broken. But he proved me wrong. He was my best friend since childhood. He was the one person who knew me better than I knew myself. He was the one person I trusted more than anyone else. But he took everything from me. He took my family, my friends, my money, my dignity, my sanity. And most of all, he took my trust. He was my best friend since childhood. He was the one person who knew me better than I knew myself. He was the one person I trusted more than anyone else. But he took everything from me. He took my family, my friends, my money, my dignity, my sanity. And most of all, he took my trust.